Good morning, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. It's my great pleasure to be here and provide an overview of Abu Dhabi's economy. If I had to pick 3 words to describe Abu Dhabi's economy, I would choose booming, dynamic, and resilient. Now, this is quite a combination at any time, but especially at a time when the global economy is facing fragmentation, policy uncertainties, and high government debt levels. As such, we remain positive on Abu Dhabi's economy, not only on a regional basis, but also on a global basis. Reflecting the exceptionally strong growth that we've seen from 2021, you can see on the first chart on the left that the non-oil economy in real terms was 19.5% higher in 2024 than it was in 2019, pre-pandemic. Our estimate is that by 2026, the non-oil economy will be over 30% higher than the 2019 level. You can see on the second chart that we believe our forecast of 6% real non-oil GDP growth will pull up UAE's non-oil GDP growth and by far outpace global and regional growth. Now, we also see the hydrocarbon sector providing a strong boost to headline growth, again, in real terms. This reflects both higher oil output, but also gas output as earlier investments come into force. The non-oil economy, you can see that there's been multiple drivers and engines of non-oil growth. And despite double-digit growth in some of the key sectors, the non-oil economy expanded by 6.4% year on year in the first half of the year. Areas such as construction and finance grew by around 10% in real terms. And real estate by over 8%. Now, we see a number of drivers boosting this growth. Strong investment program, population influx, a positive regulatory environment and policy backdrop. Population in Abu Dhabi over the last 2 years expanded by over 7%. It surpassed the 4 million level and is up over 30% since 2018. But what is also critical to us, it's not just the headline number, it's more high net worth individuals and professionals moving to Abu Dhabi. This reflects not only a wealth transfer, but also a knowledge transfer. And also supporting the consumption environment, the consumption backdrop, is more visitors coming to Abu Dhabi. You can see on the first chart, this is occupancy levels, averaging around 80% for the first 9 months of the year. Even at the height of the summer, you didn't see occupancy levels fall below the 70 level. This reflects Abu Dhabi becoming an all-year-round destination for tourism. We believe that further indoor facilities, including the Disney theme park, various museum projects, as well as the outdoor facilities, will strengthen this further. Furthermore, we can see the development of the aviation sector also supportive for tourism and consumer spending. Despite this being the second year of the airport being open, we're still seeing double-digit growth in passenger numbers. This is a perfect example of earlier investments paying off. And now to segue from the booming to the dynamic. Of course, the investment program is central to both of them. We see the UAE at the beginning of its largest investment cycle. There's been around 260 billion of projects awarded from 2023. Of that, around 43% has been in Abu Dhabi. Various sectors behind that. Of course, real estate includes, construction includes real estate, both commercial and residential. But the gas and power is very important as well. Gas not only to meet domestic demand, external demand for a transition fuel, but also for industrial development. This includes chemicals, refining, but also low carbon manufacturing, and also AI and other industrial sectors. The largest award in the first 9 months of the year in the GCC was a power project, a solar project with battery storage, which will be used for AI. Here you can see the different verticals that Abu Dhabi is looking to develop. Indeed, this includes areas such as tech, resources, finance, healthcare, and industry. We see various aspects being utilized to support this development, from infrastructure, regulatory environment, but also the strategic partnerships. A key announcement this year was for the Stargate UAE. This is in conjunction with the largest global tech companies. It will provide AI infrastructure and compute capacity for a radius of 2,000 miles, covering areas like Europe, Africa, and Asia. This highlights also the developments in the various ecosystems, the growth in the number of companies and AUMs at the ADGM. UAE, on the first chart, already has one of the best AI infrastructures globally. And on the second chart, renewable and clean energy already accounts for over 40% of Abu Dhabi's energy transition. But also what makes us very positive about the UAE's and Abu Dhabi's future is the various trade and CEPA agreements that the UAE is agreeing. There's 14 CEPA agreements in place and more to be announced. To us, this is not only supporting sectors such as transportation, logistics, and export-led, but it also reflects the growing role of the UAE as a transshipment hub, the nerve center of global trade, and the repositioning of supply chains. It also is boosting FDI into the UAE. There was over a 40% increase of FDI inflows, accounting for over 8% of GDP, one of the strongest globally. And alongside the infrastructure, the connectivity, the CEPA agreements, which are making trade frictionless and cheaper, we think labor mobility is also central. Now, finally, to the resilience. This is underpinned by low government debt levels and high net foreign assets, including at the sovereign wealth fund level. We continue to see Abu Dhabi realizing fiscal surpluses, and government debt is below 20% of GDP. We feel the government debt issuance on the bond market is more linked to a yield curve rather than for deficit financing. And thank you very much. Finally, to conclude, we continue to see strong and resilient growth driven by an investment program that's increasing capacity and policy that's supporting companies and individuals to move here. We continue to see policy focused on economic growth and expansion in the energy side and broader aspects of the economy. And finally, the strength of the government balance sheet means that Abu Dhabi can continue with its medium-term development plans, even at times of global uncertainties. Thank you very much.